Hey, you. Yes, you. I'm talking to you. I know you're still struggling with the driver. I see it on the range and on the course all the time. Balls going into the lake, balls going into somebody's backyard. Today starts the 3-part series of maximizing the big stick. We're going to get into the setup today. Let's go. Okay, so the first thing we need to talk about in regards to our setup is alignment. How do you get aligned to the ball, to your target? Okay, so let's say we got a X on the wall here. We got a target on the wall here, right? So that's our target. So what we want to do, and here's our ball, we want to have a line going straight from the target all the way to our ball, okay? That is our target line, as you can see here. That's our target line. We never want to square up and get aligned to our target line. We want to get aligned to our alignment line, which is parallel to the target line, okay? Because if you start to try to line up to your target, you'll start doing this, okay? We want to create these railroad tracks here and here so that we can get lined in this box, okay? That's the box we want to get lined up in. So a huge aspect of all of this in regards to the alignment is making sure that you have an intermediate point about 1 foot to 1.5 feet past the ball on your target line. Because once you start getting aligned, and of course you don't have a stick here or a line here, right? You're on the tee box and you're ready to go. There's no lines that you can figure out. You're going to have some reference point. So your reference point is the intermediate point, the ball, and this imaginary line going straight back right here, right? And that's kind of what you line yourself up to, all right? It's impossible for you to line yourself up between target and ball. You have to line yourself up between intermediate point and ball. Okay, the second thing we want to focus on is our grip, making sure that we are good to go with the grip. If you guys are interested in a really, really great grip video, make sure you click up here. Most of us are hitting the ball to the right, so we would want to go with a very strong grip to alleviate all that right side. Okay. The next thing we want to focus on is how do we actually set up for the driver? How do we actually look? How is our body for the driver? Okay, so the first thing we want to think about is the fact that we're not going to be coming down on the ball with the driver. The driver is the only club we do not hit down on. We want to hit up. There's this thing called angle of attack, AOC, right? Where we want to hit up on the driver and send it up into the clouds. That's our objective, is to hit the ball as high as we can with as little amount of spin as we can. Okay? So how do we set ourselves up for that? So if we are on the ball like this, right, and we're about to set up, we want to make sure that our body and our head is behind the ball. So we want to make sure that we bump this hip a little bit, okay? From waist up, we're going to tilt just a little bit, maybe like 10 degrees or so, tilt just a little bit. Pros will tilt, and then once they come into impact, they'll be even more tilted, okay? So that's our objective. We want to set up to hit the ball high. In order to hit the ball high, we got to make sure we get behind the ball. Our head should never, ever, ever be in front of the ball throughout the entire swing process. In regards to where the ball should be placed in our setup, okay, what I like to do is I like to just have a very closed stance like this, and then just move my 1 foot out. And that'll pretty much give me exactly where I need to be in relation to the ball. The key part here is you want the ball to come straight down between your chest and your arm, and kind of on the seam, on the heel of your front foot. Okay, so we're about right here. It is really, really good. Now the next key thing, I don't want you to grab the club with your backhand, with your right hand, over the top like this. I'm going to show you guys why. If you're here and you grab the club over the top like this, guess what? Now I'm not in alignment anymore. Okay? I have opened up my shoulders, and now I'm probably going to come over the top and send all the balls to the right. So what we want to do is we want to get here. We want to come underneath, okay? So we want to come underneath with the right hand. Now I'm still square to my alignment line. Okay, I'll show you guys that one more time. If I'm here, I come underneath to grab the club. Another key piece to moving yourself behind the ball, moving from waist up behind the ball, it's not just about your body moving behind the ball, but you have to move your head as well. So I want you guys to move this way and move this way, okay? So we're gonna move this way and move our head just a little bit. Another key aspect, I don't want you guys to set up to your ball like this, okay? This is way too narrow. This is way too wide, okay? You should be roughly right on your feet should be roughly right on the outside of your shoulders, all right? Really narrow, really solid base. Really solid base is what you really want, okay? In regards to your posture, what I would like to see is when you get here, I want you guys bending from the waist. So staying tall, bend from the waist. You want to stick the rear to the back a little bit, not way like this, right? But just a little bit, kind of almost feel like you're about to sit down, okay? So you almost feel like you want to sit down. Try to keep that back, as nice and straight as you possibly can, right? Tall chin, okay? I don't want this. I want this, right? This is going to restrict you because your shoulder is going to come bumping into your chin on the backswing. You're all set up and ready to go. You got a good wide stance. You're in an athletic position. You've aligned yourself up to your target, up to your alignment line, which is aligned to your target line, okay? You have a strong grip, okay? The ball is coming right off of, let me move that over a little bit. The ball is coming right off of your armpit area and your inner heel area on your front foot. Your chin is up. You got great posture. What's the last step? The last step is a little bit of movement, okay? Just a little bit of movement, a little bit of this right here, okay? A little bit of legs, a little bit of waggle, okay? This is all part of the setup, okay? This is before you start swinging the club, right? You gotta be dynamic. You can't be static. So make sure that you have a little bit of movement, a little bit of waggle, and then you're ready to go. Okay, one of the last pieces of the setup, which I think is probably one of the most important pieces, has to do with this right elbow, your trail elbow, okay? When we are here in regards to our setup and we are bringing this in underneath, so we're bringing our right hand underneath to attach to the club, we want to make sure that this right elbow is kind of almost riding our abdomen, riding our core into the club, okay? This is so key because when we get into the next video, which will be all about the swing, you'll see how important this right elbow is coming into impact. And this is one of the most critical pieces of the entire swing, this right elbow. So I hope all these tips helps you guys. This is part one, the setup of the entire mastering the big stick. In a couple of days, I'll release the next one, which will be all about the actual swing, going from takeaway to what we do on top of the swing to the follow through, just the whole deal with the swing itself. 2 days after that, we're gonna drop the mental side. How do we mentally prepare ourselves to get on a tee box and hit a ball, okay, without having fear? All right. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Love you guys. Talk to you soon.